It's the Dave Hud Show. It's the Dave Hud Show.
All right. What's up, Angel? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Dave?
I'm good. Dave Hud Show. Welcoming my wonderful guest, Angel. We was talking about some stuff, and she said that she don't date broke niggas. So let's get right to it. Why is that?
I don't date broke niggas. I don't like that tagline, so I'm gonna correct it.
Okay.
The main point is that I don't want to date anyone who cannot complement my life, and that is in all aspects. And so if you're not making as much money or more than I am, then we ain't there. There's no connecting the dots.
Okay, so do you think that I don't know, a guy who's making more than you cannot be the great guy that you're looking for? I mean, can he have flaws any other places? I mean, if you're talking about a rich person who's an asshole and a person who doesn't make enough money for you, as far as doesn't meet your financial requirements, and is a good man, how are you're not even going to see that because you're so fixed on the financial?
No. So I have to correct you. So I'm a woman of substance. So money, I'm not blinded by dollar bills. And as a matter of fact, what
you just said you just said. Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, what someone has is none of my business until it becomes my business.
When is that?
You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening.
When does it become your business?
When they make it my business.
When do they make it your business? In a casual conversation, when dude comes to you and you guys are having a casual conversation, when does it come to the point where you can't deal with him because you find out how much he's making?
So that's kind of a loaded question.
Yeah, well, hey,
definitely
I'm loaded.
A loaded question.
Yeah,
so I mean, when you're first meeting someone, that's not information that is readily available to people. You can assume.
Yes, it
you
is.
can see somebody who's a blue collar worker. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
they could have their own business,
and
somebody could misjudge that and say, "Oh, I'm messing with such and such. He's all dirty and he's stinking and all this other shallow thinking." You may miss an opportunity by you judging a book by its cover. So I'm not trying to suggest that.
During the conversation, don't you ask what he does for a living?
You mean as
like
time develop? Yeah. I mean, here's the thing.
I mean, let's be honest here. If a guy comes up to you and he starts talking to you within 15 minutes, you're asking him what he does.
No,
is this
not
correct?
Always. If I'm interested, I may dig, but I deal with things and prospect a little bit differently.
Okay, so if let's say you don't dig, and let's say you really like this guy, right? And you guys are hitting it off. You guys are vibing. The convo is great. You're having a great time. And then you guys hook up again. Same vibe. That you guys are talking on the phone. And you really starting to like this guy. And then you find out that he doesn't meet your financial requirement. What happens then?
I don't know. I've never been in that situation.
I know you haven't been in that situation. You know why? Because you find out how much he's making before your feelings get involved. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So while we're talking, and I appreciate the honesty. What is the range? I know you said has to be making the same as you or more than you. Let's say he is making more than you. And you guys are together and you guys are flowing. And then he loses his job. How long does that man have to get out of your life?
Who said that he? So So we talking about dating, or we talking about like marriage, or
No.
you know, the relationship, the dynamics of relationship?
No. So, let's say dating for about 5 months.
Oh, I wouldn't. So if there's time that's been invested with each other and things of that nature, and he's lost his job,
Mhm.
that I don't have a range on when that person would dismiss us, that I would dismiss him. He would probably dismiss himself if it was longer than what was longer than it needed to be. But just somebody losing their job doesn't mean that you lose total income. You know what I'm saying? So that is not.
Let's say he loses his income and he falls below what your requirements are. What happens then? Because it's same guy, the same guy, but now he's not making. Now he's not making what you require.
Okay, so depending on how much time that we vested, that's another loaded question. That's
what we do here.
I've never been in that situation.
That's what we do here on the Dave Hud Show. That's what we do here on the Dave Hud Show. Let me ask you something.
What?
That is the same guy making 6 figures and not making 6 figures. See, here's my point. Here's my point. You'll get with him. It takes 6 figures to get with you, but then he loses. Whatever the range. It takes a certain amount of money to get with you, and then he loses the money. And now you're saying, well, it depends on how much time you got invested in. But if he never had that money to begin with, you never find out how great of a guy he is because of his tax bracket.
That's your narrative. That's not mine.
That's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
It takes
bits and pieces. You're talking over me too, so it's not a show. It's starting to be.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So, to answer your question, I can't. Sister. Hello. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had a call coming through.
I bet you did.
You can't help yourself. You're just very antagonistic at times.
Listen. We're good. We're good.
So that scenario is not. I like to speak from experiences, and I don't like to speak in perspective of categorizing, because you're really not getting any depth of what my opinion stands for. So let's start from the beginning. You asked the question, or the tagline is, I don't date broke niggas. And if you said why, it is this here. So let me just rewind the tape and speak to it candidly. Number one, I'm a woman of substance, and I have certain standards. Okay. Now, my mentality is not, hey, I'm working at McDonald's and I want a millionaire to come, a knight in shining armor to come and scoop me out the hood and make this life great for me. So I don't think that that's fair, because it's your responsibility, and as men and women, in order to make your life to be what you want it to be. Now, what I said is that I don't date, and I don't have a history of dating people who cannot compliment me, and that's on all levels. So if my situation is bad, I'm not even in the dating circle, because I have to be able to bring something to the table. But if I'm bringing something to the table, then I'm hoping that counterpart is going to be bringing something to the table as well. I am a firm believer that men are to be the provider and the protector. But it doesn't mean that man, that weight has to fall on the shoulders of the man alone. So I'm a person who resonates and walk in the spirit of we. So this is what we are doing. So if you're in position and I'm in position, then we are powerful together. But I can't put dead weight on your shoulders and expect you to carry me, and I'm not helping to balance, you know what I mean, the responsibility. So as a woman, not even just as a woman, I'm a firm believer, be the energy that you want to receive.
Okay. I agree.
And if you be the energy that you want to receive, then I have to at least be in a position to receive something that I feel as though is either going to compliment me or catapult me to another level.
I agree. But let me ask you a question. You said he has to make equal or more than you. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, that's what you said. Okay, if he's making more than you, that means you are making less than him. Is that correct?
If it's equal, it's equal.
No.
If it's more than, then that's a plus.
If he's making more than you, that means you are making less than him. So it's okay for you to make less than him, but it's not okay for him to make less than you. That's correct?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. And why is that? I mean, that's a heck of a double standard. Let's talk about that. I mean, why is that? And let's keep in mind too that you guys are making a lot of money nowadays. Okay. So why is it that because you can make very minimal and dude can make a certain amount of money, but he can't make very minimal, and y'all make a lot of money. And so because guess what? He won't be a real man.
No, so hold on, wait a minute, boo. So I'm not into trying to put anyone in a box. You asked me about me. We didn't say categorize. So as far as my preference, I have a right to prefer a certain preference, a certain standard. So those are my standards that work for me and that have worked for me. So I mean, it's just that. And here's the other component. I'm not out with a fishing rod fishing for this caliber of a man. My personal situation, this is what I've attracted, and I'm not going to, it's just that part.
Well, part of the reason why you attract that is because you put that out there.
No, I only shared that. I've only shared that with you. I'm not that shallow of a person that I mess around and say or insult people or insult myself for that matter to say, hey, I only I've heard women say, I only mess with ballers. Well, what does a baller look like to you? Because that's never going to come out of my mouth. You understand what I'm saying? So
you've never messed with ballers?
It's just that part. I need to, if I'm dating.
You've never messed with ballers? You never messed with ballers?
What's a baller?
A hustler.
I've messed with hustlers.
Oh, okay. Funny how your voice changed right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've messed with them.
Yeah, I know you did.
I dated.
Let me
however, comma.
Yeah, however, comma. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. A lot of these questions I asked you, I already know the answer.
However,
I already know the answer.
Comma,
Go ahead.
I've never sought to. That was not my ambition in life. To saying, oh, I only no.
You said you don't mess with broke niggas. What else? I don't get it. What's the difference?
What do you mean? What's the difference?
You talking about you didn't aspire to you didn't set out.
You said so. There's a difference between I said people who have money and standards, who is financially responsible. That is the part. So let's break down when I say money. You need to be financially stable and responsible. He can be financially. That is the behavior that needs to be in place.
Hold on. He can be financially stable and responsible and still make lesser than you.
That part. And so he can maybe date somebody else because it's not happening.
He can date somebody else because it won't happen with you. Okay.
So I'm going off of experience. It hasn't happened with me.
Okay. So you've never at all dated anybody that made less than you?
No.
What are the 5 things you look for in a guy?
Health. Wealth.
Okay. Now let me. You know why I asked that question?
Can I ever answer a question?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to take you back to school so you can learn how to be a goddamn. You're going jumping off, don't even get your answer. You're going on to the next.
Go ahead. Jeez. All right, go ahead.
Pause.
We're listening.
And breathe.
We're listening. Mm-hmm.
Family values,
Mm-hmm.
spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
and also, I guess, sense of humor. So you know there has to be some substance and a bit of humor there. But being financially responsible is definitely huge on my list.
Okay. I honestly, had I asked that question before we even got into this, I don't think you would have said wealth as being one of the five, which gets me to say that, and I think, and again, I agree. I mean, you can have your standards. There's not a problem having standards. But what I'm saying is, if you are just going off of the financial, like I said, he could be making a ton of money, but he could be lacking in a lot of areas. And then a guy that you won't give a chance to because he makes $10,000 less than you, he's very good in all those areas. So I just don't want you to miss out on that great guy because he doesn't meet your financial requirements. And like I said before, he could meet your financial requirements, and then 3 months later he loses his income. He loses all his money, whether it's on real estate or whatever, this and that. And not to mention, hold on, and you could start making more money. So let's say he's making $110,000 a year, right? And then you go, if just a number, and you're making less than $110,000, and then you get a raise or you make another move or something comes in, and now you're making $150,000. So now you're making more than him. But see, now that doesn't matter because you're saying you got time vested in it. You see what I'm saying? So in the long run, does it really matter? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying mess with somebody who can't bring something to the table. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is don't put the financial requirements so like set in stone, because that can change.
So you're right. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So the dynamics, the way that the scenario you put it in, they can change, and everything is relative to the situation. So we're just going off of a blanket statement. So again, the one thing that I said in the beginning, and I haven't changed, is that I'm a woman of substance. So, you know, your narrative is on the extreme. I'm just giving you, only thing I'm speaking to has been my experiences, not what could happen. I'm talking about what has happened. And so, and with my track record moving forward, again, I'm going to stand on, I will not avail myself to anything or anyone that does not complement my life. So it's just that part. And it's not to be wavered. And financial situations can change where, okay, well, the man may be making less than you eventually, or however the situation is, and it really depends on
and that can
it really depends on your starting point. So just because I'm saying I'm just again going off of my own life experiences. So if y'all are connected, and you know what I'm saying, and love is conquering all areas of the dynamics of your relationship or your situation is solid, then finances is only going to become a problem when it's a problem. And saying someone loses their job, I don't think that that's a good scenario to define how to muddle through a hurdle. I think because, again, just because you lose your job doesn't mean that you lose income. And then we don't know what caused the job to be lost. The main thing is that as long as the person didn't go and sabotage their position, because shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, okay, you're not working, you're not at that company anymore, and shit happens. You could have got sick. Anything could have happened. So if you're asking me, would you abandon somebody because something caused a rift in how the finances were going, my answer automatically would be no. That would not be a deal breaker. What becomes the deal breaker is how you handle the event. So if you decide to go sit on the couch because you were fired and didn't get up to go try to find something else, that's a problem. That you don't know how to handle life events, and so you don't know how to manage life. So how am I going to trust you with my life and life decisions when you can't handle your own when a crisis comes up? How long are you going to muddle in this thing? Is like, oh, this happened to me. Well, get your tail up. Stop feeling like a victim.
Okay.
As long as you have breath and skill set, go figure it out.
Okay.
But if you can't sit here and figure it out, that is, so it's not the money, it's the mindset that becomes the problem.
Okay. Well, you know what, the mindset, let me tell you, I'm glad you said that, the mindset, because he can have a rich mindset, a wealthy mindset, but he's just not there right now. So when I just said that when you get with him and then he loses his job, now he's making less than you. It can be the flip side of that. He's making less than you when you met him, right? And then he takes off and now he's making more than you. We've seen that story as well. Right? So that can happen too. Right. So hold on. Because here's something that I get into it with a few females on this. When you see a guy working at Walmart, when you see a guy working at a gas station, when you see a guy working at a not so great income based career or job or whatever, you always ask him what his plans are. Because what you're actually saying is basically, you too broke for me. So I need to know what your plans are so you can make money to where you'll be on my level. That's basically what you're saying. Because guess what? If you met him and he was a lawyer, you're not asking him what his plans are. Is that correct?
No, I would still ask the lawyer what his plans are.
What his financial plans are?
Even if he was a lawyer. Yes, because here's the thing. Yes, because I'm a firm believer that we never stop learning. You learn all the way up until you die. When you stop learning, you stop living.
Let me tell you something. If he pulls up in the latest Benz and he's a lawyer, you're not asking about financial. You're not worried about that. You just got your answer. You just got your answer.
I'm not your typical female.
You said he has to make equivalent or more.
So that would be that.
So you are claiming. You're saying that somebody who's like. Go ahead.
It's so you are presenting something too broad of a statement.
I am repeating what you said, sister.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
No, because here's the thing. If you're going to ask a question and then make it fit whatever story, the main thing is in your line of questioning, in my opinion, they should fall in line to the point you're trying to really get at. And when it's too broad, there's too many if-then theories that can apply. If you want to run the narrative, let it apply to what you're trying to say, and or get somebody on there that is going. It's too broad. It's way too broad. So if you said, okay, if I gave you definitive answers like, oh yeah, I make $100,000 and I don't want to date anyone that doesn't make that much and blah blah blah, or if I gave something more defined, then we can go back and forth a little bit. When you said something, you used a lawyer as an example. Who said what level of lawyering he was in? And it doesn't even matter that part. I'm very inquisitive. I'm going to ask 10,001 questions. And just because you have a lawyer, so I'm going to be honest with you, I'm more into entrepreneurship. So, okay, you got this lawyer. What are you doing? Do you have a plan outside of being a lawyer? You know what I'm saying? Because just because you got a lawyer don't mean that you made him.
Are you an entrepreneur?
You're a lawyer. You're a lawyer, but that's what you're saying. Like, you're not going to ask him anything else. Well, why wouldn't I? Do you want to be a judge? Or are you going into politics? Why would I not want to stretch that narrative? You know what I mean? To find out, has he arrived to his plateau?
So my question is, how do you find out, and when do you find out that he's making equal or more than you? What is your strategy to find that out? What are you asking?
How about this? When I take interest and there's time that starts to be spent, because I don't mean to sound arrogant or anything of that nature, but niggas coming and approaching women normally happens, it's a dime a dozen. I'm sorry, like I I'm just not the woman that is easily impressed. Period, point blank. And at the end of the day, I don't know how much so-and-so is making until he wants to make it my business. And he might not give me a figure. He may say, hey, this is what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what's that range looking like? You know what I'm saying? I'm only going to make it an issue if I want to make it an issue, but I have never had to make it an issue. I'm only talking about you're taking my true life experiences and then you're trying to make it to categorize it, to make it a summary of everyday living. We talking about my life. My life can't be compared to how everyone else is doing it.
Well, we don't have everybody else on the phone.
Well,
so we're talking to you. I'm getting your perspective. You're the one that said. Hold on. You're the one that said. Hold on. You're the one. You're the one that said. Hey, I didn't say it. You're the one that said that you don't mess with broke niggas. That's what you said.
Because that has been my track record.
So it's not by choice. So it's not by choice. So it's not by choice.
And I be like, for real though, what you bringing to the table, boo boo?
So it's not by choice.
What you mean? And they'll get offended. What you talking about?
So
just that part. So I'm not the woman, so I don't want you to take
let me tell you something.
Anything out of context. I'm not the woman who's looking for a come up. If that was the case, I would have been came up.
Let me tell you something.
I mean, what do you want to tell me, Dave?
Do you? Because you're not answering the question. How do you?
Yes, Benny. And you talk over. You don't want to hear it. You don't answer either. But go ahead.
Listen. You've been talking the whole time. How do you find out? Answer the question, please. If a dude is making equal or more than you. That's all a simple question. It's just a simple question. It's a simple question.
Answer the question again. I know you can't hear, but go ahead. What's the question?
How do you find out that the man you are messing with, dating, dealing with, having convo with, what have you, if he's making equal or more than you? How do you find this out?
I told you it's normally exposed to me when it's supposed to be exposed to me. It's just that part. I can't help. I mean, I don't be like.
So how do you judge? How do you judge? How do you judge?
I've never asked a man, well, how much money you make?
Okay, so how do you know if he's making equal or more? How do you know he's making equal or more than you?
I take that back.
Okay.
You know when I ask a man how much money they make?
Mm-hmm.
When I want them out of my face.
Okay.
I'm being honest with you because I'm not, even though I say I don't
but
mess
still,
so in my history, my history of dating, I don't date, that's just my history of dating men who have not been financially stable and financially responsible about their income.
So
okay?
again,
with that being said,
oh God.
I don't have to ask them how much money they're making. So I don't ask that question. Maybe this is your answer that you may be looking for.
Okay,
maybe
please.
They disclose
we finally got, after half an hour, we finally get an answer. Good.
Okay, what they do, you know what I'm saying? What their job title.
Oh, there we go. Back to the ding, ding, ding. Back to the career. Right. That's right. That's what I said.
But I don't ask them questions on. Those are not preliminary questions I asked in the beginning.
Let me tell you something. That question is asked within 10 minutes of the combo.
I don't ask that. Go ahead. You can keep talking. You're talking about me and how typical people do things, and I'm just not the typical person. Only time if I'm asking you if I'm just shooting a bobo, but I'm really not interested.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, Dave.
No, here's the thing.
In order to capture my attention, it's not the money. I don't know.
You're talking two different things. You said you don't mess with broke niggas.
Just getting to the point and saying, hey, can I have your number? Can I have your number? And can I take you out? Or can we go out? Listen, you have to capture my attention in like 2.5 minutes. If you don't capture it's about what comes out of your mouth. So if you can't even board yourself with your intellect, you have not gotten my attention.
But if you don't mess with broke niggas, how do you even have a combo with him to get for him to get your attention? That's the question.
The question is, actually, it takes a lot of time.
Oh, now it takes a lot of time.
I'm being honest. Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
Takes a lot of time. Wow.
How long? Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
Well, I mean, I'm just, all I'm saying is, you in one sentence. Can I finish? Can I talk? I can't talk.
We ain't dated yet.
I can't talk.
I'm fucking with you, Dave. Go ahead.
No, I'm just, I'm not asking for much. All I'm saying is, in one sentence, you say, I don't mess with broke niggas. You have to be on my level or more. And then
That
you
part.
say, that part. Yeah, this part coming up. Then you say, the finances, you're not about that. You're not the typical bae. You're not talking about, I want ballers. I want this and that. Make up your mind.
So my mind
What are we doing here?
So there's a difference there. No, because I know women personally who they're bag chasers and they're like, oh, so and so in bar, blah blah blah, so and so at this place. Oh, I'm going there because so and so's going to be there. And
You're not a bag chaser. You're not a bag chaser. But you are a bag chaser. But you are a bag chaser.
No, I told you. Listen, have people. No, that's not the truth. I'm not a bag chaser.
So let me ask you something. Hypothetically, you meet a dude, you get with him. I mean, you guys are talking, you guys have a good conversation the whole night. And he tells you he's something, and you go into your mental calculation, which you guys do. And you come to a figure of what he's making. You might even Google how much he's making in that state or what have you, right? So then you have a figure, right? And then you're talking to him and he tells you about an idea that he has that can possibly garner a lot of money. What is your next step? Do you continue to combo, or do you take a chance there and believe in him because he has great aspirations, he has great goals, he's passionate about it when he's talking about it, but financially he's not where you want him at right now?
I'm a good friend.
You're a good friend. So meanwhile, a broke nigga, I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you, but you're not where I want you to be right now. Call me when you get there. And you know what?
Part.
And you know what? That part, exactly. Thank you for confirming what for confirming. Can I finish? Can I finish? And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something else. Let me tell you something else. You. Can I finish? Can I finish? You and these other chicks, you sitting there, I don't want him. I don't want that. He don't make enough money for me. And then call me when you do make enough money for me. Well, guess what? When he does make enough money, the money that you require, he ain't calling your ass. Because now he's in a different bracket. Yeah, that part. That part.
Guess what?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you think that the women is sitting up there crying like, oh, I should have gave John a chance?
He done
turned out to be such and such and such and such. If they are, that's on them. That's not my attitude. My attitude would be like, oh, I see John done came up. Kudos for that nigga.
You don't think
that part?
You don't think
it's for me. When it's for me, it's for me. And here's the thing, and this is the part that you're taking out of context and what I'm sharing with you. I attract what I get because of where I'm at and what I choose to be. There's a difference. So just that part. I'm in a position to make have those standards. You know what I'm saying? Because then people try to say that finances is not a problem in relationships. It's a huge problem in relationships. And if you're not responsible financially, if you're not about your business, how can I trust you with anything else? I can't. That's irresponsible for you not to be in a decent position. Just sorry.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know better, you do better. Get yourself in position. My stance is not going to change. It is what it is.
You know what's crazy?
But here's the same thing. Here's the same token.
Right.
I'm not gonna. I still feel as far as being responsible, I'm responsible for myself. So I'm not expecting somebody to just come in here, swoop me off my feet, and take care of me. I should be in a scenario does happen in a marriage. Because dating that can come and go in something that is solid in a marriage. Now, if my husband had lost his job and he was without, and there would still be a standard like, okay, well, let's see how you're dealing with this. Can you deal with this life event or can you not? But if you know what I'm saying,
why can't you take? You still working? Why can't you take care of him?
I was minor.
You're taking a long route.
In a marriage. But if I'm dating somebody, you're not my problem. And I'm not yours. That's the difference.
That's the difference.
But when you're married, and that's you sign up for better or for worse, for richer or for poor. So if my husband is down on his luck for whatever reason, I'm gonna ride with that until the wheels fall off, until I can't ride with it no more.
When does that? And when does that happen? 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 And when does that happen?
Huh?
And when does that happen? Because when hold on, can I finish? Can I finish? See, and that's the problem. And that's the problem.
On the TV show.
And you know what? When we lose our gig, or when we have problems like that financially, there's a fucking a time clock in the corner, nigga. What you gonna do now? But guess what? Have y'all lose your income, and we're expected to hold it down. Y'all don't have no time. Y'all don't have no time clock. Y'all don't have no time clock. Because guess what? Because guess what? A woman. Guess what? A broke woman. Hold on.
No, that's not. You know.
Don't demographic. Don't use the demographics. Don't use the demographics. Don't use the demographics. Don't use the demographics. What I'm saying is, when that man is not bringing in any income, he is lesser of a man. He's not a real man. He can't sit on the couch growing a beard and having a pot belly. He got to get up and make it happen. He can't play video games all day, right? So he's not a real man. So a man is judged by how much money he's bringing in.
No,
you know that you got that is correct. That is correct. A woman is still you started it off with that. A woman can still be a real woman whether she's making money or not. That's the problem. That's the problem.
No, I can't agree. No, I'm gonna break this down for you, because
you don't have to break it down for me. You break it down for somebody else.
I'm gonna break it up for you, because I say mindset, you say cash. I say mindset, you go back to money.
You started the money thing. You started the money thing.
No, okay, I'm gonna ask you to be silent just for a hot second. Okay?
I've been silent. Go ahead.
No, you haven't. For 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
For 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing.
Right.
Nobody wants to be with somebody who ain't doing something for their life. So let me break down the differences when being domesticated. So if a man is out in the world and he's the breadwinner, and a woman is at home, don't think because she's at home she's doing nothing. If she's doing absolutely nothing, then you need to get rid of that woman. So that part. So what you don't realize, obviously, is that when women are at home, we are doing everything. We cooking, we cleaning, we tending to the kids. We gotta go to the doctors. We have to manage the bills. We gotta wash clothes, turn around and sex you.
Oh wow! Wow! Yeah! Wow!
And everything.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute. And everything else.
Yeah.
Now, if the man
we don't do nothing.
If the man was not bringing home any cash, but he was filling all of those positions, sometimes we can say, hey, he's adding more value to our situation.
Who's fixing that pipe? Who's fixing that pipe? Who's fixing that? Who's fixing that? Who's fixing that pipe? Who's fixing that pipe? Who's cutting the grass? Who's cutting the grass?
Good point, David. You're missing it because you won't.
No. You're missing it.
You're missing it because you will not be quiet. So if a man is doing something to the house, I don't care if it's a man or a woman, and it's being responsible, that is something to negotiate. That's something to work with. But when you paint the picture that somebody is sitting on the couch playing Nintendo, scratching their fucking, excuse my mouth, balls, and being a piece of furniture with no productivity in their life, I don't have no sympathy for that. Get the fuck gone is my attitude, because now you are a part of the problem instead of the solution. And I don't need that in my life.
So let me ask you something. If dude is in there and he's home, he's not making any money, but he's cutting the grass, he's fixing the pipe, he's fixing the damn roof, he's shoveling the walkway, he's taking the trash out, he's fixing the broken bed that the kids are broke, he's putting stuff together, he's doing stuff around the house, he's fixing the crib. Are you still telling him you need to get out of here and get some money?
I just sat there and told you that is something that's something to work with. He's adding value at that point to the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Doing something is better than doing nothing. So if you're doing something as you just sat here and described, that is something that we can work with, because that's less responsibility.
So let me ask you. So let me ask you this. If you meet a man and he's capable of doing all those things in the house, you won't give him a chance because he ain't making enough money.
That part.
That part, you goddamn right. That part. But
you can't demonize. You cannot demonize what I value, because it's about my life.
Obviously, you don't.
It's about my life.
Obviously, you don't. Obviously, you know what? You won't find. Let me tell you something.
Romance without finance is a nuisance.
Yeah.
See, I'm not about living. I'm not about poverty living. I'm not about it, and I'm not going to get about it. It even tells you in the Bible about being a Proverbs 31 woman. It talks about having more than. It tells us in the Bible that we should owe no man anything but love. So being in debt, being without, that's simple to me. That's a lifestyle that I'm not.
Please, let's not quote. Please, let's not quote the book. Please, let's not quote the book.
Listen,
please,
as long
please,
as you keep staying comfortable and you're comfortable with the least of, then that's for you. But that's not a life for me.
Okay.
Because if I'm gonna do bad, I can do bad by myself.
I can do bad by myself. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? I can do bad by myself. You know what? You won't even know what that man is capable of just because he doesn't meet your financial requirements. You know what? Let me tell you something. When I ask you those 5 questions of what you want in a man, you know what? Anytime somebody asks those questions to a woman, you know what she should say? David, I'm gonna be honest with you. If that nigga ain't making a certain amount of money, it don't matter what the fucking rest of the list is.
Well, so I didn't say that.
Well, that's what it is, though. That's what it is. Because you sit up there. You know what kills me? What kills me? Hold on. Here we go. Oh, now we retract stuff. Okay, here we go.
I tracked where I am and what I am in life. Period. So if I have if I have a broke-minded mentality, I'm going to attract broke-minded men. But I don't have a broke-minded mentality, and that's why I don't attract broke-minded men. Period. And you cannot demonize me for my standard of living, or the energy that exudes from my being, or my knowledge, and my preference.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, when you put that financial requirement on it, man,
it's responsibility.
You don't have now it's responsibility. You said if you don't make equal or more. That is what you said, sister. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Did I say that?
No.
You said that.
No,
so I just repeated what you said. That's all.
Well, that has been my experience, Dave. That's been my experience. So what?
Well, you know what? I thank you, because you're getting a little heated. I thank you for coming on the show. We might have to have a part 2 on this one. But let me ask you one more. Can I ask you what'd you say?
You might have to get you another Becky.
No,
go ahead.
No, let's not go there. So my question to you is: does money determine if a man is a real man or not? Just answer the question.
No.
But you won't date anybody who doesn't make equal or more than you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you. I thank you. I wish you a great night. You will not date anybody making equal or more than you. And I wish you the best. I do. I hope you find him where he is, making a ton of money. I hope you find him.
Who said I don't already have him?
You don't have him already.
Okay. You don't know what I have.
Do you have them? Let me ask you something before you go.
No, you're ending the show.
Let me ask you something before you go. Well, hypothetically, we're on a date. Do you pay for the dinner? Have you ever take us out? Have you?
If I ask the man out for a date,
have you?
I do not mind paying. Yes, I have paid.
You have paid?
I believe in reciprocity. Yes, I believe in reciprocity.
Okay. That's awesome.
But if you ask me out on a date and it's your first time, then you better pay because this is what you want. Don't expect me to pay and you asking for my time and my attention. You pay. If I ask you out on a date, like, hey, you want to go
but you know what? But you know what? You know what's up with that though? It is always standard for a man to ask a woman out. Always. So 90% of the time, 95% of the time, we're asking you out anyway.
Yeah,
so that whole shit. Well, if you ask me out, you gotta pay. I mean, if I ask you out, when the fuck are you asking? But
listen, baby, I've been asked out. It didn't even have to be asked out. In my engagement, in my relationships, in my marriage, I've been married and divorced. So in those situations,
how many times have you asked a man out?
We may say, hold on, hey, we want to go get something to eat. It's not even, and it's like, this is what we're doing. And he may reach in his pocket and be like, no, baby, I got it right now. I got it. You paid last time. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But can you ask a question before we get off? Have you ever? How many times have you asked a man out?
Several.
That's a damn lie.
Okay.
I'm talking first date. And that'll be a wrap. I thank you for coming.
No, wait,
God bless you.
No, I'm processing. I have asked a man out on a date before.
First time?
Yeah, for first time date. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. What? Once, maybe.
Maybe I don't know. I probably it's probably more often than I even realized.
You know goddamn well.
I have asked men out on it. Listen, I have asked men out on it. Trust me, I have asked men out on dates. I just asked a man out today for a date.
Oh really? For the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had a man. And that's a wrap again.
Oh, no. Who said
you said how you know I don't have one. You said how do I know you? That part. You said how do I know you don't have one?
I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. We need to get you in class for listening.
No. We need to get you in class for remembering.
Yeah. No, I remember. I know exactly what I said.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
Trust me, I do. And I did ask someone out on a date, but it didn't mean that it was romantic. You didn't define that.
Are you paying for this date, Angel?
No, it's not happening. So.
Oh, he told you. He turned you down.
I was rejected.
Oh, you was rejected. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? You know why? You know what's crazy? You might have been rejected because you don't make enough money.
You're right.
How about that?
And guess what?
What?
I'm not offended.
What? Hey.
I said, if that was the case, I wouldn't be offended.
Maybe he don't mess with broke women. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we need to get him on the show. Huh?
It wasn't a romantic gesture, Dave. It was a friend.
How do you get when you the word rejected means?
I was just teasing.
Oh, now you're just teasing. Okay, and that's a wrap again. I thank you. I wish you the best. And let me tell you something. When dude pays for the dinner.
Damn, I thought you were ending the show. Like
we're ending it. When the dude pays for the dinner, do the common courtesy and leave a tip. Can you do that?
Nope.
And we're out.
It's the Dave Hud Show. It's the Dave Hud Show.